Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to The Last Ego on Earth. My name is James Scott Shoemaker, and today we're going to be continuing on with Lesson 4 from the Workbook of Students in this blue book here, A Course in Miracles from the Foundation of Inner Peace. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. I might stop throughout and maybe say some notes, and we'll just go from there. All right, guys, here we go. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. And these practice periods begin with noting the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute. Then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only the thoughts you think are bad. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, that they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. This is why they do not mean anything. In selecting the subjects for the application of today's idea, the usual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad. None of them represents your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat a different form. The aim here is to train you in the first steps towards the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is the first attempt in a long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside you and the meaningful from within. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. In using your thoughts for application of the idea for today, identify each thought by a central figure of event it contains. For example, this thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in the room, on the street, and so on. You can also use this idea for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful, but is not a substitute for the more random procedures to be followed for the exercises. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute or so. You are too inexperienced as of yet to avoid tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. Further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you may find the suspension of judgment in connection with the thoughts particularly difficult. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. All right, guys, here we go. Jesus is saying here, remember, we have what we think is good thoughts and what we think are bad thoughts. What Jesus wants us to do here is to remain neutral about all the things, and that our thoughts really do not mean anything. We've been so twisted in the ego's game for so long that we have forgot our way and we are blinded by veils. So what we need to do is lift those veils by asking the Holy Spirit to go within and to release our judgments upon absolutely everything. And the lessons from here on out will continue to deepen into that subject matter. So it's going to be a pretty fun, exciting meditation if you make it so. Holy Spirit will help you undo your mind and your thoughts. It really makes the whole world a lot easier. You're not wrapped up so much in the world anymore. You can wake up fresh, just look at everything and allow it to be what it is, and then you just go about your day doing your lessons. Progressively as we're doing the course, it just gets better and better and lighter. And these are just the very first steps. Just like he says here on 5.3, do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute. You're too inexperienced as of yet. So he's saying that at this point, if you just started the course, just take your time with yourself. You might be pointlessly preoccupied with thoughts. So just let it go and allow the flow of you just letting go of your ideas of everything. All right, guys, I hope you got a lot out of this. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment underneath me here. And I can't wait to continue this conversation with you. Remember, I'm just here as your buddy, making sure that we both get out of this dream together as mighty companions. That's right. All right, guys, peace be with you, and I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye, guys. Take care.
Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself for all it's worth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself, the last ego on earth. Prepare yourself from the dirt to the birth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. The last ego on earth.